Oh man.
You'll need your basic test light. You can get these things for like $6. DVOM, digital volt ohm meter. You can use just about any ohm meter as long as it has millivolts. If it doesn't have millivolts, you won't be able to do this test. You can pick a basic DVOM capable of millivolts up just about anywhere for less than $10. Amp meter. Most digital volt ohm meters will have an amp meter capable of up to 10 amps. The Fuse Buddy Pro is capable of 30. It's nifty, it's got little plug-in attachments for just about anything. And you will need a car with a charged battery. Yeah, obviously this is not a car. This is a simulator I built so I can show you how it's done. The very first thing I like to do is disconnect the battery from the vehicle completely. And simply measure the voltage. This battery is a little undercharged, but it should do fine for what we're trying to do. Pay no attention to the colors, it doesn't really matter at this point. So we're going to hook up our ground circuit. This would be like hooking it up to the chassis of the vehicle to ground. So basically all we really did was disconnect the positive on the vehicle for this test. Now, for the next test, we're going to use Grandpa's favorite tool, the test light. Gonna clamp it on and let's simulate a load. Okay, there is already one simulated. Let's go with the fan. Okay, so we have simulated a load. If you notice, the test light is illuminated slightly. That is because our simulated load is a small fan, probably not even 0.3 amps. As soon as the fan's off, the draw goes away. Pretty simple. Now say we've got something bigger like a 3 amp load. Look how bright that test light is. Now that's great for Grandpa's old jalopy. A test light does just fine. There's no computer in the vehicle, so you could just go around and start pulling fuses until the light shuts out, and you can identify which circuit the problem is on. So the test light is great. It is a great tool. It does many things if you know how to use it, but on today's modern vehicles, when trying to locate a draw, this doesn't really help you much. This doesn't really give you any information at all. Bright light, dim light, how many milliamps is that? We don't know. We didn't have these problems in the late 60s, late 70s, late 80s. But we're still going to use it to simulate a glove box light or a dome light being on. Now I told you earlier that this was an optional tool, but I prefer using it. It's way better than a test light. At least you can see how many amps are being drawn, not whether or not the light was dim or bright. Very poor test on newer vehicles. This is one of the best ways. You can still do it with a test light and your digital volt ohm meter, but let me show you something. So it doesn't really matter positive or negative on this thing, how you hook it up. Boom. This is our positive. We're going to hook it up to our positive here. Now, as you can see, there is a 1.9 amp draw. On today's modern vehicles, if you just start unplugging fuses and plugging them back in, you're going to reinitialize computers. Some cars have more than 40 computers on them, and it takes them a little bit to go to sleep. So you might have to wait 45 minutes after the car has been shut down and the key has been removed. Do not open the doors. You have to leave the doors open and fool the car by latching them. So, where does the voltmeter come into play? Well, let's see. You put your voltmeter on millivolts, and we are simply looking for voltage loss. That is a simple thing. Doesn't matter, red or black. We're going to put it on both sides of the fuse. Almost no voltage loss. Next fuse. Almost no voltage loss. Look, we still have a 1.9 amp draw. Next fuse. Let me get a good connection. Almost no voltage loss at all. Next fuse. Almost no voltage loss. One fuse left, 1.9 amps. We're losing 8.3 millivolts on this circuit. Why? Pretend you don't even know what's on the circuit. Just unplug it while watching your amp meter. Look, it goes down to 0. That's how you find out. Another example would be, let's go, we'll do it this way. We're going to hook Grandpa up to the ground. And we're going to measure the voltage loss on this circuit. Which is almost non-existent. 0 amperage draw. Now let's say your glove box light is stuck on. This will be about the same amperage draw. Oh, let's reconnect that bad chicken. Okay, so this is about the same amperage draw as a dome light or a glove box light. See how the light is lighting up? Now we have a 0.4 millivolt loss in voltage, which comes out to right around 0.3, 0.4 amp draw. That's going to drain your battery in just a couple days. So, you know you got a problem. Compare it to another circuit that does not have a load on it when the key is off. Almost no voltage loss. So this is how you do it without resetting everything.